I wouldn't have my rice, of course. But she always used the 4 cheese.
She used the aged cheese. You want to use it so it looks a little bit more. Keyshawn having a stroke in the back there.
I'll tell you what happens though. Seriously, you can see it sometimes coming out of your. Listen to this, Keyshawn. You know you want to be beautiful. Yes, it comes out of your pores.
Yes.
And excess. That cheese and all that dairy, you know.
Yes, look at that, a recipe, Shanique. They on point.
Says, Mom, what is this now she's talking
She
about?
put up a recipe for her cashew cheese, and she's letting everybody know all of the things that you can actually use.
Go on the live feed or znsnews.com official Facebook page. Cashew cheese sauce from scratch.
Yes.
Shianda has it there. Chosen, listen, thank you. Chosen, look at this recipe, and there's your first vegan recipe.
Yes, Shianda.
There's your first
vegan recipe.
Guys, thank you so much. You all have been fantastic. Thank you so much to Violet Thompson and Turks and Caicos watching. We had somebody watching in Gainesville, Florida.
Yes.
And everybody around the Bahamas. Thank you all so much. Thanks for calling in. And of course, Shay and Tanya.
Thank you,
Shanique.
Shanique.
You as well.
Thanks.
Stay exactly where you are. The news at 6. It's straight ahead.
Living your best life yet.
The views and opinions expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of the Bahamas Radio Network and, as an extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
You need a little conversation when you need a little inspiration. Tune into the conversation. Talk about it on the conversation. When you need a little motivation, life is better on the conversation. Tune into the conversation.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, ground broken for a major investment on the Cable Beach Strip today. Bahamas Rosewood officially opened its doors last evening. And time is winding down before a new team takes over the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Another addition to the Cable Beach Strip as the Wynn Group broke ground for its multi-million-dollar hotel and residences today. AltaV's Munnings reports on the ceremony that took place just hours ago.
$1 million Goldwyn Hotel and Residences in Cable Beach signals the Wynn Group's intention to continue its plan to further invest here in the Bahamas. CEO Paul Wynn said this project finally starts after 4 years of planning and perseverance.
Our aims here are several: to be architecturally progressive and individualistic in both exteriors and interiors. Importantly for the country, we estimate to create 350 jobs in construction, and more importantly, 150 plus permanent job placements in the operations.
The hotel executive even revealed at the ceremony that it's his company's intention to move its corporate office from Toronto, Canada to Nassau as they plan to make substantial investments in the Bahamas.
We've been developing for close to 40 years in Canada, United States, Dominican Republic, Israel, but this place is great. The people are special. It's a special place, and I just love it here, man.
AltaV's Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Baha Mar has been declared a fully completed project now that the multi-billion-dollar development welcomed the new jewel in its crown, the Rosewood property. During the official opening last evening, President of Baha Mar, Graham Davis, talked about fulfilling a promise.
The opening of Rosewood Baha Mar signifies our achievement in completing the phased opening of this incredible resort destination and fulfilling the commitment we made to the Bahamian people and to the world to complete this project in the spring of 2018. We feel endless gratitude to the team of passionate and dedicated professionals who will welcome our guests to this outstanding destination with the warmest Bahamian hospitality and exceptional service.
The final phase of the project, which includes the Grand Hyatt and the SLS, the hotel brands, has a combined total of 2,300 rooms. Baha Mar employs thousands of Bahamians, and Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis says with Rosewood's opening, the numbers will grow.
Bahama now has over 4,000 employees and will welcome more than 450 employees at Rosewood. With its successful Life Spectacular marketing campaign, Bahama is doing exceptionally well with excellent prospects for long bookings. We are pleased that Rosewood now joins the collection of luxury properties here at Baha Mar. Rosewood is known for elegance and for encouraging a love of travel and sense of adventure and exploration for those who enjoy its brand.
The Bahamas Electricity Corporation will borrow $211 million and enter a non-revolving term loan agreement with several banks. Minister of Public Works, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, moved the resolution in the House of Assembly Wednesday, noting that the loan is necessary as the corporation is currently in a financial crisis due to the high cost of fuel, the need to fund capital projects, and a high expense ratio and reduced cash ratio.
Collectively, the banks are 1. Scotiabank, Bahamas Limited, main branch Nassau, the Bahamas, in its capacity both as agent and lender. 2. First Caribbean International Bank, Bahamas Limited, corporate banking, Nassau, the Bahamas. 3. Royal Bank of Canada, main branch Nassau, the Bahamas. And 4. Bank of the Bahamas Limited, main branch Nassau, the Bahamas. 5. Citibank NA, branch of a corporation organized and existing under the laws of the state of New York, the United States of America. And whereas it is a precondition of the facility agreement that the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the government guarantees to the banks the repayment of obligations of BEC in respect of the principal of the loan and interest thereon under the facility agreement.
The controversial Interception of Communications bill, widely regarded as the spy bill, passed in the House of Assembly Wednesday and now moves on to the Senate. The bill is being touted by government as an important crime-fighting tool in the fight against gang-related transnational crime involving drugs and guns. Minister of State for Legal Affairs, the Honorable Ellsworth Johnson, commented on the legislation.
This bill is being laid. This bill is being presented to no less of an august body than the Bahamas Bar Association. As I said earlier, Mr. Wayne Monroe QC, Mr. Glinton QC, and Mr. Hilton QC all took the time in a public arena to debate this bill and said the time has come to now pass it in this environment, Mr. Speaker. So as I have indicated, there's an obligation that the Attorney General has. He's empowered by the Constitution. And even though he's appointed by the Prime Minister, the Constitution is clear. He's not to move at the dogmas or the will and fancy of the Prime Minister.
Government is continuing discussions with the Federal Aviation Administration with a vision to eventually gain control of the Bahamas' airspace that has been managed by the U.S. since 1952. The former Christie administration began negotiations with the FAA in 2016 to gradually regain control of its sovereign airspace and successfully negotiated an agreement that exempts Bahamian airlines from paying overflight fees. Minister of Tourism and Aviation, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, says more of those meetings are continuing as the Bahamas looks to ultimately benefit from the millions in revenue being collected by the U.S. from airlines that fly over the Bahamas' airspace.
We're going to formalize our relationship with them so that they continue to manage our airspace until we can build capacity, and we will then be able to charge overflight fees in our airspace to cover the costs of our air navigation services. Overflight fees, let me be perfectly clear, cannot be used to build roads and build hospitals. It can only go towards strengthening and making more robust our air navigation system so that when planes fly through our airspace, it continues to be a service that maintains a high level of safety.
And still to come, a new group of nurses filling a void in healthcare. That story and more when the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6, continues.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $999, or our 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial *203# to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank, everything we do it for you.
Accepted. You're always sharing everything. You share the umbrella, the weekend, the blanket, and even your favorite towel. We know that you always share, but not KFC's genuine big box, made fresh for only you, with 2 pieces of chicken, 2 spicy wings, coleslaw, fries, biscuit, a cookie, and a soda, all for just $10 including VAT. Easy to enjoy, hard to share.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
A new group of nurses joined the healthcare profession today following a graduation exercise at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. The nurses are expected to help fill some of the staffing shortages across the public healthcare system. Fern Carey reports.
135 nurses, including 3 males, marked a major milestone in their educational journey during a pinning ceremony at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. The graduation exercise signaled their successful completion of the requirements for the diploma, certificate, and degree programs at the University of the Bahamas. The graduation exercise comes as the country continues to grapple with a shortage of nurses. Meanwhile, the graduates were encouraged to provide quality healthcare services to the sick. The nurses were also urged to temper the delivery of health care with compassion and kindness.
Be pleasant, polite, kind, and respectful. Know your patients by name. Do not refer to him as bed number 7. Each is an individual with worth and value. Remember that individuals are usually at their lowest when they are feeling unwell.
It was then time for the new healthcare professionals to be pinned and to say the nurses' pledge.
I will respect at all times the dignity and religious beliefs of the patient under my care.
We'll have more details in our 7 p.m. newscast. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
A big day for the more than 5,000 members of the Bahamas Hotel Catering and Allied Workers Union today as they headed to the polls to select the team they feel is most suitable to lead them over the next few years. Members cast ballots at the National Stadium and Workers' House, with the polls closing at 6 this evening. ZNS News caught up with representatives from several teams who shared their plans to take the union to another level if elected.
Transparency is number one. And then also, too, we're going to look at trying to negotiate a contract for our members. Benefits, okay? And also, too, we have a lot of redundancy packages that a lot of persons who are here who have been laid off.
Well, the first thing we have to do is find a way to stabilize this union. After that, we have to go and check the financial part of the union, whatever properties is left. Then we have to get back and let the members know what's happening.
Our goal is to give the people a master contract that they rightly so deserve, that has been held back from us now from the past 9 years going into 10. No agreement, no kind of incentive and nothing for the people, and the morale for the people is low right now.
So in a nutshell, protection, empowerment, advancement, and service is what they can get from Team Phoenix.
A resident from Ragged Island got a head start in rebuilding his home thanks to the generosity of the women's arm of the Free National Movement. Alvin Monroe, who was absent, had just celebrated his 56th birthday and received $3,000 worth of blocks from the association on Wednesday at F&M headquarters. His sister accepted on his behalf. President Betty Benoit says the association is excited to give back to an island that was devastated in one of the country's most destructive hurricane seasons in its history.
F&M Women's Association efforts continues. I would be negligent if I didn't also take this time to say how grateful our association is to our special donor, who has so graciously donated these blocks to the Women's Association Hurricane Relief Effort. Immediately following the passage of Hurricane Irma, the women of the F&M began to mobilize and communicated with the relevant agencies to assist the islands of Regatta Island and Salina Point Acklins.
Chairperson of the Restoration for Ragged Island Fundraising Committee, Melissa Maynard, says the island is now getting back to some sort of normalcy, and she encouraged Bahamians to give back to their brothers and sisters.
This donation is just the beginning of many, I know, with the partnership with the Women's Association. Mr. Alvin Monroe is totally indebted to you as well as your committee for doing such generous donation on his behalf. And in 8 days, hurricane season is about to begin. We had 11 homes that was totally destroyed. And this will actually be the first home that will be rebuilt.
Family Guardian Insurance Company recently celebrated Founders Day, a day set aside to show the company's philanthropic side. This year, the Bahamas' Down Syndrome Center was one of the recipients of the good deed right here in the capital. This as more than 450 agents of the company carried out similar exercises across the country. Founder of Family Guardian, Norbert Bozier, said he is happy with the work of the organization.
We are impressed with this organization and this school that we brought out a lot of the big guns. This program has been going on for 6 years. It was previously a program that was being used where we would take the whole staff of the company to a picnic, give them barbecues, give them beer, water. and when our president of 6 years ago, Mrs. Patricia Hermans, suggested that could we change and take the money that we were spending and the effort we were putting into a picnic, could we do what we are doing here, go to the people, the children.
Cheryl Newell, who founded the Down Syndrome Center, thanked Family Guardian for thinking of those with special needs.
We would like to thank Family Guardian for coming and being a part of this Founders Day. We look forward to it every year, and we're just so happy that you've embraced our special needs kids and adults, and we're just looking forward to an awesome day.
Stay close. Sports is up next. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
No matter what your goals are in life, you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info@lenobahamas.com.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evo. Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hot like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evo.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Here's your first look at sports for Wednesday. More than 1,200 athletes representing 57 schools are competing in the Frank Pancho Ramming Primary Track and Field Championship. Officially opening the three-day meet was Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard.
It is an honor to be here with you this morning. I wish to welcome all of our student athletes, coaches, and officials, and to say to the patron of this event that we are proud of the work that Pancho Ramming has been doing for decades in the Bahamas, grooming elite athletes, a number of whom have gone on to become medal-winning Olympians. I'd also like to encourage all of the parents who are here to continue to invest in your children. They will continue to make you, the school, the community from which they come, and this country proud. To all of the organizers, thank you for sacrificing the time to pull together this gifted group of young athletes who will go on to participate in Carifta, World Championship, the Olympics, and on the pro circuit.
National record holder in the women's triple jump, Tamaya Myers, reflected on her performance at the Commonwealth Games held in Australia in March.
I was really prepared, had good training sessions and everything, and we went to Australia maybe a few days, a week before, and I really thought that put me at an advantage compared to the other jumpers that were there maybe 2-3 weeks, especially Jamaican jumpers that were there at least 3 weeks in advance. I tried my best during the preliminary rounds to advance, but unfortunately I placed 9th. First and second attempt, first attempt I fouled, tried to adjust too much, didn't, run the same way as my first attempt, was behind the board, and then the last was about 13.1. It's like really low, below my, personal best, so it was disappointing, but I'm glad I got to experience, the competitive atmosphere, being among the best, I guess, in the Commonwealth.
The Bahama G operators sweeping the championship series with the Cheetahs to win their third consecutive title in the New Providence Women's Basketball Association. The operators plowing the Cheaters 80-73. Cassandra Ramming led the way for the operators, netting 23 points. Brittany Harrison scored 17 points and Antonique Young posted 11 points. The Cheetahs got 23 points from Chantel Roll. Sharpening their claws and stopping the Young Alive Strikers team in 3 innings was the Sunshine Auto Wildcats. The defending champions in the New Providence Softball Association, the Wildcats had a slugfest, winning 35-5.
It was an easy win. Not a down the team, but it was a good win. Relaxed game. Everyone was just on their toes. The 2 pitchers, they were really good. They came out, performed their best. We got ahead very early in the game. We didn't slump this time. So we jump out the gate very aggressively this time.
Pulling off the upset to win the feature game on the night was the Chance's Mighty Mitts, who defeated the BTC Elite Warriors 8-7. Kyle Carey was tied with the win, helping the cause with Tori Roll, who went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. BTC's DeAndre Rigby closed with a run and 2 RBIs, and Sherman Ferguson went 1 for 1 with 1 run and 2 RBIs. Area Representative for Exuma and Regatta Island, Chester Cooper, was pleased to see the number of youth sailors competing in the annual Barry Tari Regatta held on the weekend. Cooper said with pride that the sport is in good hands.
I always like to herald
the economic impact of these homecomings and regattas on our local communities. And it's delightful that we have done it again in this 35th regatta and homecoming. And certainly we look forward to our 36th, where we can continue to make this type of impact on the community. Secondly, I'd like to say that it's very pleasing to see many of the young sailors here today. As we look at the many winners who came to receive their awards, we see a very youthful contingent of skippers. This is heartwarming, and it makes me feel that the sport of sailing is alive and well. And we must indeed encourage these young skippers, encourage the sailing club.
Swimmers in the Mako Swim Club surely made their mark this swim year. Head coach Ravano McPhee bragged about having more than 10 swimmers qualify for the Regatta Games, which the Bahamas won, and is looking forward to have a good number selected for the other upcoming regional meets.
We are a new club, but we have a high number of swimmers. Very pleased with the 16 qualifiers for Regatta that we got. And yeah, the club is growing very fast. Very pleased with the support by the parents. The Mako parents did a very good job with volunteering. Timers were on time. And yeah, just having a good time here.
We will soon know the players who will represent the Bahamas at the upcoming Caribbean Amateur Golf Championships. Golfers teed off this past weekend in the annual Bahamas Golf National Championships. According to President Linford Miller, players will be selected from their performances at nationals, with provisions for those who weren't able to participate.
Unfortunately, some of our good players aren't here. We're in college at this time, but we have some new juniors, up-and-coming juniors who are very promising. Ashley Michelle, you have Haley Turnquest, and so we're hoping to bring them onto the senior team as well and get them to help out with the George Teal Cup. Also, the junior national team will be traveling on the first week of July to Jamaica. And so far, I think we have selected about 9 players to represent the country on the junior team.
We're coming up to postseason in the Bahamas Flag Football League. Teams who have qualified for the playoffs will use the break to train and catch up on plays they've missed all season.
I think it's going to do more good than bad. As girls get to rest, and we get to do some things outside of football, just keep in shape. That's going to be the biggest factor. Well, right now we're not sure about the seedings, but we're probably going to be in the 4th spot, so we're probably going to have the fifth seed. So whoever we play, we got to win. It's that simple.
Is this team capable of winning championship this year?
Yeah, this team right here, it's our 2nd year, and we made it to the semifinals last year. So we're only trying to go forward this year to try to make the finals.
That's your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. There's more to come.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Minister D'Aguilar, now the Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands. What are your summer vacation plans?
I'm going to go to the Family Islands of the Bahamas to bring tourism back to our family of islands.
And there's no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the Family Islands from Nassau. Let's go. Be fresh, reconnect, and unwind in the Family Islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com today.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Miss something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at water, we'll take a look at this area of low pressure in the Caribbean Sea, just near the Yucatan Peninsula. At the moment, it has a very low chance of development, but that could change within the next 48 hours as it moves into the Gulf of Mexico. Outside of our studios just now, we have cloudy skies, temperature 81 degrees, relative humidity at 78%. The winds are out of the southeast at 13 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 1,018.4 millibars. That is 30.06 inches, and it is rising. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned. More weather is still to come.
Thanks, Basil, and that's a look at news here in the Bahamas tonight, first at 6. But don't go anywhere. News from the northern Bahamas is up next.
Are your monthly bills coming in on top of your holiday bills? It's time for a change. Bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. Move your high-rate loans and credit card balances from other banks to a low-rate consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank. Less stress, less to pay, each and every month. Plus, the chance to win $5,000. So make a change. Get a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank and pay less.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
What amazing idea to go into the communities and into our world and into our country and into the homes of people and into the lives of outstanding and extraordinary people all over the country. I think that telling those stories, again, helps us to connect to the notion of okay, how can I live a better life? How can I be better? This is how this person achieved it. Where can I find common ground so that my life can match up as well? And so Ordinary People is an amazing, amazing concept, and I'm excited to be a part of the Ordinary People family.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
A group of Bahamians hoping to invest in the tourism sector. An executive at the GBPA outlining plans for the city of Freeport. And the Freetown community pulling off a big heritage festival.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Wool-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news this evening, an executive of the Grand Bahama Port Authority sharing some of their challenges when it comes to the city of Freeport, as well as strategies put in place to assist in the way forward. His comments coming during the Chamber of Commerce's monthly meeting. Executive Director at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Rupert Hayward, telling members of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce that while investment to this island is crucial, another area that needs immediate attention is the image of Freeport City. He says one of the major problems on this island is littering.
We see the dumping. We see the effects of 3 major hurricanes in, 13 years now. And we see some of the derelict cars. So I just want to say that we understand the issue, we do see it, and we are putting strategies in place to solve it.
He says over the last 3 years, more than 3,000 tons of litter have been picked up.
That's not your garbage or your trash. That is litter that is thrown out of cars, dropped on the sidewalks, that has to be picked up on a daily basis. 1,000 tons of litter. If you Google 3,000 tons, do you know what comes up? A container tanker. It's a lot. It's an enormous amount. That's 70,000 bags in 3 years. And if you want to see the amount of resource that has to go to solve that problem, each one of our litter pickers walks a half marathon every day in the burning sun to pick up that litter. So that's one of the things we do need to solve, because we've got a lot of resource that's focused on solving problems that really shouldn't be there.
On another issue, the port executive pointed out that the recent 3 major hurricanes have had a huge effect on this island as well.
I would just say that with that as a backdrop, last year we did spend $1.4 million in unbudgeted expenses to deal with the effects of Hurricane Matthew across the group. It's a significant investment. That's on top of all the other money that we spend on a regular basis to keep our city as good as we know it should be. This year we're even increasing that budget in real terms, above and beyond what we spent in 2017.
He adds that over $1 million has been invested in roadworks for the city.
If you look at this, over the last 3 years alone, we've actually covered 1,682 potholes. That's almost 2 potholes a day. Over 500 potholes a year. We've cleared almost 200 littering dumping sites, illegal dumping sites. That's 1 every 5 days. And we've removed 125 abandoned vehicles. That's 3 vehicles a month. Now bear in mind that process is up to a month long, depending on how we work with the owners of those cars. In the last 7 years, we put 5 roundabouts in place. It's almost a roundabout a year. We've paved 38,392 feet. That's over 8 miles of road.
Hayward says they are working feverishly on new recycling programs, identifying derelict buildings and vehicles, as well as other incentive programs. In other news, a group of Bahamian business persons are combining resources to make a major investment in the local economy. Tonight, one of the leading partners say that the vision is to provide hope to other residents on this island. Megan Shepard has more on this story.
6 partners and 4 shareholders have come together to make a multi-million-dollar investment into the Grand Bahama economy. This group of Bahamians are currently in negotiations to purchase a small operational resort on island. President of Leveling Off Crew Companies Limited, Troy Garvey, says that the group sought international lenders to purchase the resort with the vision of bringing hope and an economic boost. Garvey says that many Grand Bahamians may question the decision to invest in Grand Bahama during this economic time, but he firmly believes that the residents will be the ones to bring about a change.
If you look at the economy here in Grand Bahama, it's basically flat. There's some people still doing some things, some people taking some chances to go into the invest on the island who really believes in Grand Bahama, that it can come back, and I believe it can. And so the group of Bahamians who is doing this is going to be Bahamian owned, Bahamian operated. And this is what we're trying to do to really enhance and to encourage Bahamians in Grand Bahama that this is our time. This is our time to get it going. This is our time to lift the economy of Grand Bahama. If we keep waiting on an investor from outside of the country, we can be in trouble. And I would say that because when we met with the lenders from outside of the country, the lenders asked me, Mr. Garvey, what did you see? Or what do you see what we don't see? And I say, I see my people is looking for that hope.
Garvey says that the vision with this purchase is to bring back the old flair of Grand Bahama. He says he hopes this business move will inspire other Bahamians.
It already has a staff. We're going to enhance that staff because of what we're prepared to do as far as enhancing the business of the hotel. But Megan, the thing about it is, it's bigger than just the resort we're purchasing. What we're trying to do, we're trying to send a message. We're trying to send a message to Bahamians to say, listen, if we're doing this, we want to encourage you, not only encourage, but we want to help you to know that opportunities exist for you also.
Now, Garvey says that he cannot disclose the name of the resort as yet, but negotiations are in the final stages. So far, the group of 10 has invested several $1 million into the deal.
We're looking at $4 million so far. A group of Bahamians, hardworking Bahamians. So I think that's very, very, very good to start off with. We are already in negotiations. We already sat at the table. We have already negotiated the price. We on the closing end of it right now. It's right here in Grand Bahama. I don't want to call the name yet because it isn't closed yet, and I don't want to breach the seller because we have to be mindful that he has obligations also. But we are close to closing.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
In other news, the 2018 Atlantic hurricane season is just days away, and officials on Grand Bahama are fine-tuning their preparedness plan. Tonight, we hear about challenges in a crucial area. Sabrina Brown has this report.
On the island of Grand Bahama, as everybody have heard us talk about many years, we still have a challenge with supplying the island with shelters.
As we approach the start of the 2018 Atlantic hurricane season, the National Emergency Management Agency is working to ensure that Grand Bahama is in a state of readiness. NEMA Officer Tammy Mitchell says securing adequate and proper shelters remains a major challenge. To date, only 12 shelters have been named for Grand Bahama.
We have another call out again right before this hurricane season for any persons who in the community who knows of any buildings that can serve as shelters to come forward and let us know where those buildings are and who the contact persons are. And it's simply because the buildings that we've been using in the past have gone through their own challenges. They are making repairs. Some of them have already made repairs, but the island itself still doesn't have sufficient shelters.
Mitchell says finding adequate volunteers to assist with the operation of the shelters is another issue that is being addressed. She's appealing to residents to lend a helping hand.
When we call out for assistance, we're not going to put you in harm's way. We're going to utilize you in areas where you would have received some training, or we can give you training so that you're able to assist us as volunteers. And again, volunteers can contact our office, and we do keep a database of volunteers so we know that which areas you have been trained in so that we can use you as best as possible.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
In news from the crime beat, police are investigating a shooting incident that has left a male hospitalized. Shortly after 11 p.m. last night, police were called to the Deadman's Reef area where a male had reportedly just pulled up home in his vehicle with 2 passengers when he was accosted by 2 males, both brandishing a firearm. Now, a struggle ensued between the assailants and the victim was shot several times to the body. The suspects fled on foot. The victim was transported to the hospital via EMS personnel and is now listed in stable condition. Well, 2 males and a female, all from Grand Bahama, are in police custody after they were arrested for possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply and taking preparatory steps to export dangerous drugs. Reports are that shortly before 1 p.m. yesterday, Drug Enforcement Unit officers were called to the U.S. Pre-Clearance Departure Lounge at the Grand Bahama International Airport, where a male presented himself at U.S. Customs to board a flight to Florida. A search was conducted of his carry-on bag, where 3 plastic packages, each containing suspected cocaine, were discovered. Further initial investigations resulted in the arrest of another male and a female. The total weight of the suspected cocaine is 7.58 pounds, and the estimated value is $45,000. Stay with us. There's more news right after this.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
Rain or shine, there's one place that you can always depend on for emergency hurricane supplies or everyday items. Whether it's Ace Hardware, Housewares and Paint, or furniture and accessories from Rooms to Go, or Radio Shack Electronics. The one place that carries Craftsman tools, tablets, routers, computer networking supplies, generators, and so much more is right around the corner on Queens Highway. That place is Dolly Madison Home Center. Rain or shine. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Come on down now.
This month alone, I reduced my power bill by over $300 by purchasing a solar system from Northern Bahamas Utility Company. My power bill is now $16. Can you believe it?
There's another reason why owning a solar system from Northern Bahamas Utilities is right for you. Stop by today at number 8 Oak Street or call us at 225-0766 extension 106 and ask about our in-house financing or lease-to-own options. See you today.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
More on Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Tourists and residents traveling to the east this Whit Monday holiday for the annual Freetown Fire Earth Festival. And it would appear that a good time was had by all.
The young and young at heart traveling to Freetown on Whit Monday. Residents and visitors enjoying delicious native dishes, fun competitions, and the sweet sounds of Bahamian music. The Fire Hearth Cultural Festival aims to capture the history of the settlement while also providing lots of fun. Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Aram Lewis, commending organizers for their efforts to preserve history in this way. He also encouraged those in attendance to share their experiences and promote the island.
To the visitors from near and far, we thank you very much. We do appreciate you for coming and for gracing us with your presence. And as you go back to your various homes, invite others. Tell them of the good news. Tell them of the hospitality, of the good food, and that you've been where they filmed Pirates of the Caribbean. Once more again, I want to say to all of you, including the Ministry of Tourism, thank you for promoting this very important event.
Coordinator of Groups and Events in the Ministry of Tourism, Elaine Smith, says that residents will get an opportunity to not only learn of the rich history, but also take part in various activities, such as the onion peeling competition, watermelon eating competition, and even a washboard competition.
As we gather here today to celebrate the liberation of the first slaves on Grand Bahama Island, as well as the rich heritage currently being preserved by the Old Freetown Heritage Festival Committee. The Ministry of Tourism and Aviation would firstly like to thank them all for their hard work. We hope that through the active display of our tradition with the local activities, native cuisine, and famous fire hearth flipping of the bread competition provided by here today, all residents and visitors will leave the festival with an even better understanding and appreciation of our culture.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Well, this coming Sunday is the Miss World pageant, and one young lady is hopeful that she will secure the crown and bring it to Grand Bahama. But tonight she says she may need your help to do just that. Her dream one day was to enter the Miss Bahamas pageant, and with that thought, she decided that 2018 would be the year of no regrets. Serena Green has recently captured the Miss Grand Bahama pageant and is now moving on to the Miss World pageant, and she's hopeful that she will bring the crown back to Grand Bahama.
I went for the boot camp, which was a 4-day series where we had guest speakers come and talk to us and just prepare us for the pageant. It was nerve-wracking, but I definitely got a sense of hope during those 4 days because I realized that this is what I was meant to do. And so it's just been an amazing experience thus far.
This weekend was the evening gown, swimsuit, and top model competition in Nassau. Serena says she's mostly excited about sharing her platform, which encourages young people to be beautiful, a term that has a double meaning.
So it encompasses 2 meanings but 1 purpose. So once it's spelled out, it says beautiful beyond measures as well as be you beyond measures. And so just wanting to empower the youth that they're beautiful regardless of what others may have to say about them, and also to embrace who they are.
This pageant queen adds that she is humbled to have the opportunity to represent Grand Bahama on a national stage.
The opportunity just to be able to enter the pageant alone in of itself is a lot, And being able to represent Grand Bahama, I just want to be able to make Grand Bahamians proud.
And here's how you can vote and help her to win.
In order to vote, all you have to do is go on missbahamas.net, search my name, and you can just click on the tab. You have a certain amount of votes that you can give. And once you do that, the votes are sent in, and voting has already began. So just go online and vote for me. So the voting counts towards our public vote. And basically that counts towards 15% of our total score. So that actually pushes us into the top 5.
The final competition is set for May 27th at the Imperial Ballroom in Atlantis.
And don't forget to vote for Miss Serena Green. And now it's time to Ask the Doctor.
I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Welcome. Miguel asked, as a single father, how can I talk to my teenage daughter about sex? Thanks for asking such an important question, Miguel. Sex can be extremely difficult for a father and daughter to discuss, but it is something that must be talked about openly and honestly. The subject of sex is something that cannot be avoided, as it is commonly displayed in some sort in news, entertainment, and advertising. Waiting for the perfect moment isn't realistic, and you might end up missing the best opportunities. Here are some ideas that can help you get started. First, seize the moment. When a program or music video raises issues about responsible sexual behavior, use it as a trigger for discussion. Always be honest and direct. Clearly state your feelings or specific issues, such as homosexuality. Always talk about the risks, which include emotional pain, sexually transmitted infections, and unplanned pregnancies. If you don't know how to answer your teens' questions, offer to find the answers for them or look them up together. Make sure that you consider your teens' point of view. Try not to lecture them or use scare tactics to discourage sexual activity. Instead, listen to them carefully and try to understand their challenges, concerns, and pressures. You should also let your teen know it's okay to talk about sex or whenever they have a question or concern. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Stay with us. Ricardo Liborn has a check on sports when we come back.
This hurricane season, you can have light when the power is off with Solar Up Bahamas. Find out more about commercial and residential solar systems and lighting. Phone 727-4237.
Lucayan Medical Center provides services in family medicine, internal medicine, obstetrics, gynecology, surgery, pain management, psychiatry, audiology, podiatry, and dentistry. We offer laboratory, ECG, X-rays, ultrasound, CAT scans, and MRI scans. Also here, pharmacy, physiotherapy, fitness programs, and pre-employment medical screening. Skilled staff serve you with dignity and confidentiality. Visit Lucayan Medical Center for your healthcare needs.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Missed something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
Welcome to sports. The countdown is on to the Backyard Rumble Boxing Showcase, May 26th at the Social Affair Convention Center. Grand Bahama's very own Sherman Tank Williams will step into the squared circle, fighting at home on Grand Bahama for the first time. Let's go to Megan Shepard for an update.
Heavyweight boxer and son of the soil Sherman Tank Williams gearing up for an exciting weekend in the ring. The professional boxer has experienced wins across the globe, but says it's definitely a special feeling to be back home, especially at his old stomping grounds, the YMCA.
This is where it first started for me, and through the YMCA Boxing Club I was able to take on the world, to almost conquer the world, conquer the greatest American fighter ever, Evander Holyfield, and to be returning back to the YMCA. I'm in my glory right now. So I had a great workout, move around a little bit with Nathan Davis, my old trainer, my gym mate, Leroy Morley, and just having fun. So I feel good.
The Backyard Rumble, or Drama in Grand Bahama, will feature an exciting lineup. He says that this is an event you won't want to miss, and he's calling on all residents to show up, show out, and represent the Bahamas.
So if Freeport want to come back, and if guys, we want to put the magic in the city, it's going to take you. Freeport, Grand Bahamians, we got to show out. You know, it's a Bahamian thing. Come out and represent. We got fighters coming from Colombia, from Cuba, from Venezuela. Let's show the world how the Bahamas get down. It's not live TV, but it's screaming, and everybody going to have YouTube, and everybody going to have access. We got over 700 people coming from Florida, on Balearia, and on Bahamas Air. So, you know, let's show this weekend. Let's show them that Freeport could represent, and we believe in Grand Bahama.
Williams is challenging all Grand Bahamians to step up and be the change they want to see. He says that if Grand Bahama is to return to the city it once was, residents must do their part. Tank says he's ready to do his part for his home.
And I invested a lot in this game, and I want to bring it at this part of my career back home to Freeport. You know, Freeport need the help. Freeport need rejuvenation, and I believe through what I've done worldwide, we could help sell Grand Bahama.
Pre-fight entertainment kicks off at 6 p.m. and the main feature begins at 7 p.m. at the Social Affair Convention Center. Megan Shepard, ZNS Total Sports.
Lionel Morley of Hammer Boxing Club is also supporting the Backyard Rumble on Saturday. Morley says the residents, you guys got to come out and witness an historic event.
An opportunity presented itself on Saturday night to show up and finally get to see Grand Bahama's very own son, Sherman the Tank Williams. You get to see it on HBO, you get to see it on ESPN, you get to see it on various networks all over the world. If the world could embrace him, certainly we must find it in our heart to show up, to show him that support, because guess what? These Americans and the Haitian nation is going to be here. And Tank needs to be represented, and he's worked tremendously hard, and he's put in the time, and now it's time to show the fruit of his labor, and it's time for the community of Grand Bahama to be activated and show that they care not only for Tank, but the island of Grand Bahama in particular. I'm excited.
Volleyball championship in the Grandma Volleyball Association on Tuesday. The Bebe Stars, they in turn defeated the Zorbas Youth in Action 21-13 and 21-17 to win the co-ed championship. In the men's series, well, the GT Defenders over the NNA Number Crunchers 25-19, 25-19, and 25-16. They are the men's champion. As far as the ladies series, Pleasant All-Stars and Nesbitt Rental Angels will continue play on Thursday. Going to basketball in the Big 3 basketball tournament at the YMCA, the Bishop Michael London Warriors defeated Egmont Rock Blue Jays 30-21 in semifinal play. Giovanni Russell had 10 points. Then the championship, Tabernacle, they defeated Bishop Michael London 46-37. Ramad Dean led all scores at 26 points and named the MVP. Gabrielle Lang with 15 losing cause. In the consolation game, the St. George's Jaguars did the Egmont Rock Blue Jays 26-25. Dion Storr had a great game with 16 points and Jaden Pinder with 11. That's a look at your sports. You enjoy the remainder of your Wednesday.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
When you need a warm, filling meal, head to KFC for a hot, juicy, flaky chicken pot pie. Individual sized, freshly baked, chunky chicken pot pie loaded with tender pieces of delicious KFC chicken, green peas, hearty carrots, potatoes, and a thick and savory home-style sauce. Covered with a golden crust. Chicken pot pie. Available at all KFC restaurants in Freeport.
I'm Hugh Ferguson from Budget Pest Control. After 30 years in this industry,
testing hundreds of pest control products, none has impressed me more than vape. Vape 90-Day Mosquito Destroyer, Vape Aerosol, and Vape Mosquito Coil. Vape is the only spray that you will find in my house and my mother's house, and it should be the only one in yours. In pest control, there are only two names to remember: Vape and Budget Pest Control.
I went outside. It was a hot, bright, sunny day, but it looked smoky. But I said, it looks smoky, but I can't smell any smoke.
Much of the doctors I went, before I came to Dr. Ash, much of the doctors told me that they don't see how I'm still seeing. So I knew it was a miracle from God.
I never knew, blindness come or glaucoma came at a young age, but luckily, we did the exam and it was detected, and I've been obedient ever since.
Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshina Wolf-Arkeson. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report. Baha Mar opens its third property, what it means for the company and for the Bahamas. The financial crisis that has prompted a multi-million-dollar loan for BPL, and filling a hole in healthcare. New nurses take the oath to bring healing. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The Baha Mar project is now complete. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news tonight, the final hotel completing the multi-billion-dollar Baha Mar project's first phase is open. Rosewood Baha Mar officially opened last night, marking an important conclusion for the storied property, as DeAndre Williamson tells us tonight.
Today, I proudly stand in front of you and declare Baha Mar a fully completed project.
The wait is over, and Baha Mar President Graham Davis says the promise has been delivered. The jewel in the crown of Baha Mar is officially open.
The opening of Rosewood Baha Mar signifies our achievement in completing the phased opening of this incredible resort destination and fulfilling the commitment we made to the Bahamian people and to the world to complete this project in the spring of 2018.
Rosewood is the final phase of the multi-billion-dollar Baha Mar project, which includes the Grand Hyatt and the SLS. The brands now have a total of 2,300 guest rooms. Baha Mar employs thousands of Bahamians, and Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis says with Rosewood's opening, this number will grow.
Baha Mar now has over 4,000 employees and will welcome more than 450 employees at Rosewood. With its successful Life Spectacular marketing campaign, Baha Mar is doing exceptionally well, with excellent prospects for long bookings.
The incorporation of Bahamian art is a feature of Baha Mar, and the Rosewood is no exception. The walls feature the magnificent artwork of Bahamian artists. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis would like the resort to continue its contribution to Bahamian cultural development through art.
May I encourage Bahama to also showcase other arts, including film, literature, and other expressions of Bahamian stories and culture, such as the literary expressions of individuals such as Patricia Clinton Meolis and other Bahamian talent.
Some may think Rosewood's opening may have a negative impact on its competitor Atlantis, but Minister of Tourism Dionisio Diagla says the occupancy numbers at Atlantis remain competitive.
The old adage, build it and they'll come, is certainly living true. In this particular instance, we built it, they've come, and it's had no negative impact on our other room inventory.
Following the ribbon-cutting ceremony, the Prime Minister and other government officials toured the luxury property and got a glimpse of one of the 237 guest rooms. Rosewood expects to welcome its first guest on June 1st. For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Well, even though visitor arrivals are up, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis says tourism can do even better. He reiterated the government's commitment to revitalizing the tourism product and plans for the Family Islands when he spoke to reporters.
The government is committed to the revitalization of tourism in Grand Bahama. We must better monetize cruise ship visits to New Providence and Grand Bahama. There are a number of developments being negotiated for the Family Islands. We will announce a number of upgrades of infrastructure, including a number of Family Island airports.
Prime Minister says the ongoing transformation of downtown Nassau is essential for the visitor experience, and the government is planning additional development for the area.
In due course, we will announce a number of developments and initiatives to truly transform downtown for Bahamians and visitors, including hotel and resort guests and cruise ship passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, fair wind, of course, is the nautical term for a favorable wind for a sailor. In this vein, Bahama and tourism in general are experiencing exceptional fair winds throughout our archipelago.
Well, officials at Rosewood Baha Mar are focused on wowing guests when they step onto the high-end property in a few weeks' time. Following last night's ribbon-cutting ceremony, the brand's top executive shared with C.S. Gatterly what a Rosewood Baha Mar guest can expect when the 237-room resort rolls out the welcome mat come next month.
Today, I proudly stand in front of you and declare Baha Mar a fully completed project.
The wait is over, and Bahama President Graham Davis says the promise has been delivered. The jewel in the crown of Bahama is officially open.
The opening of Rosewood Baha Mar signifies our achievement in completing the phased opening of this incredible resort destination and fulfilling the commitment we made to the Bahamian people and to the world to complete this project in the spring of 2018.
Rosewood is the final thing.
Well, we apologize. That is the wrong report there from Rosewood. We'll get back to that later. But continuing now with the national report, more good news on the tourism front. The Canada-based Wynn Group also investing in the Cable Beach area. Today, the Prime Minister, along with other government officials, joined officials of the group to break ground on the new development set to open in about 2 years. Altaviz Munnings has the details.
After 4 years of what he describes as planning and perseverance, Wynn Group CEO Paul Wynn broke ground Wednesday on his company's newest multi-million-dollar venture, the Goldwyn Hotel and Residences. Located on prime oceanfront property in Cable Beach, the Wynn Group estimates that this architecturally progressive project will definitely boost the national economy by creating some 350 construction jobs and 150-plus permanent jobs once the operation begins. The hotel executive even revealed at the ceremony that it's his company's intention to move its corporate office from Toronto, Canada, right here to Nassau, as they plan to make substantial investments in the Bahamas.
We will not compete with Baha Mar. We'll complement Baha Mar with a boutique eclectic environment Accessibility for Bahamians is essential. We'll have easy ingress-egress for car parking, a fitness facility, a bar, a petite cinema, and a beachside restaurant. On the purchasing side, we will have developer financing to assist the local market in purchasing.
And the investment has gotten the green light from the government. Prime Minister Dr. the Honourable Hubert Minnis made it clear that this new venture coincides with the transformation of the Cable Beach Strip.
The 5-star Goldwyn promises to be an architectural masterpiece of contemporary architecture. The estimated cost of this project is about $120 million. And construction will begin in July and is scheduled for completion in December 2020.
Prime Minister Minnis also touted the developer's plans to invest in its workforce as well as utilize authentically Bahamian products.
The developer has agreed to a training and apprenticeship program for employees. This will be done in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and BTVI, which will facilitate the development of various skills. The developer has also agreed to sourcing and using local agricultural and other products.
Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Well, the Wynn Group is also the developer of the Grand Lucayan Resort in the Lucayan Grand Bahama, that is. The government has been working diligently to get the project off the ground. Reporters asked CEO Paul Wynn today about the future of this much-anticipated venture for Grand Bahama.
We're near the finish line. The government has really been handling this quite well, and it's very difficult. I think they're taking the avenue of not doing all-inclusive because it's a difficult competitive environment to go against countries like Mexico and Dominican Republic or Cuba. The 198 unit, the original building, is open and operating, and that's it. And it's been closed for about 2 years, and there's a lot of, with buildings being closed, you have other issues that come up.
The Bahamas Electricity Corporation will borrow $211 million in a non-revolving term loan agreement with several banks. Minister of Public Works, the Honourable Desmond Bannister, moved the resolution in the House of Assembly today, explaining that the Bahamas Power and Light Company is currently in a financial crisis due to the high cost of fuel, the need to fund capital projects, a high expense ratio, and a reduced cash ratio.
Collectively, the banks are: 1, Scotiabank, Bahamas Limited, main branch Nassau, the Bahamas, in its capacity both as agent and lender. 2, First Caribbean International Bank, Bahamas Limited, corporate banking, Nassau, the Bahamas. 3, Royal Bank of Canada, main branch Nassau, the Bahamas. And 4, Bank of the Bahamas Limited, main branch Nassau, the Bahamas. 5, Citibank NA, branch of a corporation organized and existing under the laws of the state of New York, the United States of America. And whereas it is a precondition of the facility agreement that the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the government guarantees to the banks the repayment of obligations of BEC in respect of the principal of the loan and interest thereon under the facility agreement.
The controversial Interception of Communications Bill, also referred to as the Spy Bill, passed in the House of Assembly today. The bill is being touted by the government as an important tool in the fight against gang activity and transnational crimes involving guns and drugs. Minister of State for Legal Affairs, the Honourable Ellsworth Johnson, commented on the legislation.
This bill is being laid. This bill is being presented to no less of an august body than the Bahamas Bar Association. As I said earlier, Mr. Wayne Monroe QC, Mr. Glinton QC, and Mr. Hilton QC all took the time in a public arena to debate this bill and said the time has come to now pass it in this environment, Mr. Speaker. So as I have indicated, there's an obligation that the Attorney General has. He's empowered by the Constitution. And even though he's appointed by the Prime Minister, the Constitution is clear. He's not to move at the dogmas or the will and fancy of the Prime Minister.
Well, still ahead tonight, the University of the Bahamas' latest graduates ready to fill a growing void in the country. And talks with the FAA continue. Those stories and much more when the Bahamas Tonight continues. You're watching your news leader.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Lede, designed for extra miles.
Are your monthly bills coming in on top of your holiday bills? It's time for a change. Bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. Move your high-rate loans and credit card balances from other banks to a low-rate consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank. Less stress, less to pay, each and every month. Plus, the chance to win $5,000. So make a change. Get a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank and pay less.
Together, we laugh more, we discover more, we dream more. Together, we connect more, we cheer more. Grab life by the bundle and fuel your passion for your favorite things. Enhance your entertainment experience with Flow Evo, internet and home phone in one simple package. The hotter the bundle, the more you get. Grab life by the bundle with BTC.
Accepted. You're always sharing everything. You share the umbrella, the weekend, the blanket, and even your favorite towel. We know that you always share, but not KFC's genuine big box, made fresh for only you, with 2 pieces of chicken, 2 spicy wings, coleslaw, fries, biscuit, a cookie, and a soda, all for just $10 including VAT. Easy to enjoy, hard to share.
Let's celebrate our islands. Cheers to the new world. The Hopetown Lighthouse and Bahama Parrot. Coral Gardens of Acklins and Crooked Island. Let's celebrate Andros. Let's celebrate the Grand Bahama Shipyard. Sport fishing in Bimini. The sweet sounds of Rake and Scrape. Eleuthera sweet pineapple. Our world-famous swimming pigs. Let's celebrate our national bird. Let's celebrate Long Island. Our sea turtles in Mayaguana. Junkanoo. Let's celebrate Ragged Island. Click, the beer of the Bahamas, celebrating 30 years.
Good night, BTC family. It's Julian Believe, and we're back with another BTC Tech Tip.
Yeah, I got a call saying BTC is putting fiber in my neighborhood, but I don't even know what fiber is.
Fiber is the latest data transfer technology, providing high-speed internet connection at up to 1,000 megabits per second. With fiber to the home, customers can experience great bandwidth and reliability with their internet connection. And that bandwidth allows for services like smart home systems, Flow TV, and even home office internet.
How much will it cost to install?
Installing fiber has no cost to you if you're an existing BTC fixed line customer. However, if you are a brand new BTC customer, the installation cost is $150. And get this, having a fiber line connected to your home actually increases the value of your property.
Wow, now that makes it worth it.
And there you have another BTC Tech Tip. See you next time.
Life is filled with choices. Every choice we make has a consequence. Whether big or small, financial choices have more lasting consequences than most. When we make sound financial choices, we improve our relationship with money and set ourselves up for financial success. Visit GetMoneySmartBahamas.com and learn how to get money smart today.
At Pizza Hut, your first topping is free.
We having Pizza Hut tonight!
Flavor up for free at Pizza Hut. Get your first topping free when you order any large custom pizza. Make tonight pizza night with a deal as craveable as the pizza. Call 603-3333 or order online at pizzahutnassau.com today. Pizza Hut Saunders Beach and Prince Charles Drive for the love of pizza.
First Care is an absolute game changer for thousands of Bahamians who do not have major medical insurance, and it also serves as a supplementary plan for those who may have high deductibles on their existing major medical. First Care is incredibly affordable, but for our Alive subscribers, you get an even deeper discount. Our Silver subscribers receive a 10% discount. Our Gold subscribers receive a 15% discount, and our Platinum subscribers receive a 20% discount. We're excited to be a part of Alive's Rewards program because this is a new and innovative way for us to reach our customers.
Know how you can save more money, save more time, earn more interest, and have more for the future? The solution is an account from Fidelity Bank. With our ASU Savings, Fixed Deposits, and Preferred Client program, you can get free financial advice from our team of experts, competitive interest rates, and free online banking for simple and safe banking anytime, anywhere. Open a fixed deposit or savings account with Fidelity by visiting a branch today. Get into the rhythm of saving with Fidelity. Fidelity, we're good for you.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Police say a man who was held by residents of a Wolf Road community on suspicion of involvement in the sexual assaults of 2 young girls has been released from police custody after investigations exonerated him. In a statement released late today, police said investigations into both incidents remain open and under active investigation. They're appealing to members of the public for any information which may assist in identifying the suspect and bringing these matters to a close. Well, the government is in discussions with the Federal Aviation Administration with a vision to eventually gain control of the Bahamas airspace, and that's been managed by the U.S. since 1952. The former Christie administration began talks with the FAA in 2016 to gradually regain control of the sovereign airspace of the Bahamas and successfully negotiated an agreement which exempts Bahamian airlines from paying overflight fees. Minister of Tourism and Aviation, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, says more of those meetings are continuing as the Bahamas looks to ultimately benefit from the millions of dollars in revenue collected each year.
We're going to formalize our relationship with them so that they continue to manage our airspace until we can build capacity, and we will then be able to charge overflight fees in our airspace to cover the costs of our air navigation services. Overflight fees, let me be perfectly clear, cannot be used to build roads and build hospitals. It can only go towards strengthening and making more robust our air navigation system so that when planes fly through our airspace, it continues to be a service that maintains a high level of safety.
A big day for more than 5,000 members of the Bahamas Hotel, Catering and Allied Workers Union as they went to the polls to elect the team they feel will lead them for the next few years most successfully. Members were allowed to cast their votes at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium and at Workers House on the Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. The polls closed at 6 p.m. at both locations. ZNS News caught up with representatives from several of the major teams vying for a number of key positions in the union, and their plans, if elected, were also discussed.
Transparency is number one. And then also, too, we're going to look at trying to negotiate a contract for our members. Benefits, okay? And also, too, we have a lot of redundancy packages that a lot of persons who are here who have been laid off.
Well, the first thing we got to do is find a way to stabilize this union. After that, we have to go and check the financial part of the union, whatever properties is left. Then we have to get back and let the members know what's happening.
Our goals is to give the people a master contract that they rightly so deserve, that has been held back from us now from the past 9 years going into 10. No agreement, no kind of incentive, and none for the people, and the morale for the people is low right now.
So in a nutshell, protection, empowerment, advancement, and service is what they can get from Team Phoenix.
A new group of nurses joined the healthcare profession today, this following a second University of the Bahamas graduation exercise at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. The nurses are expected to help fill some important gaps in the public health system, as Fern Carey tells us.
135 nurses, including 3 males, celebrated a major milestone in their educational journey during a pinning ceremony at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. The graduation exercise signaled their successful completion of the requirements for the diploma, certificate, and degree programs at the University of the Bahamas. The graduates were encouraged to provide quality healthcare services to the sick, this as the country continues to grapple with a shortage of nurses.
While each of you will contribute to the alleviation of the critical need, there's still some way to go to bridge that gap. Indeed, the work that is undertaken by UB in collaboration with its many partners must continue toward attracting the brightest, skilled, and most compassionate of individuals to the field. This profession is not for the weak of heart, no pun intended, but ought to be one entered into with full disclosure.
The nurses were also urged to temper the delivery of health care with compassion and kindness.
Be pleasant, polite, kind, and respectful. Know your patients by name. Do not refer to him as bed number 7. Each is an individual with worth and value. Remember that individuals are usually at their lowest when they are feeling unwell.
The new healthcare professionals were then pinned, and a short while later, they all recited the nurses' pledge, delighting family and friends.
I will respect at all times the dignity and religious beliefs of the patient under my care.
Gifts were then presented to faculty and staff who played a pivotal role in the educational journey of the graduates. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Well, congratulations to all the new nurses. We love nurses. We love our viewers, especially those watching on Facebook tonight. We want to say hello to Gina Pintard-Knowles, Sandria Miller, who says kudos to ZNS, Shannon Bethel with a thumbs up, and Savvy Benaby. Keep those lines coming in on Facebook. Stay tuned. There's more news. You're watching your news leader.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day,
BTC has always been your business solution partner, and on tonight's Connection, we demonstrate how our long-standing partnership with another industry giant, Avaya,
is helping to enhance business for our customers.
Avaya is a unified communications and contact center organization. We're number 1 or 2 in the world in all of these spaces, so we're really here to help customers solve their business challenges and help them communicate more efficiently both internally and externally out there. Yeah, we're really excited. We're going to be talking about transforming your business into experiences and how you can take technology to take your business to the next level, because the world's really evolving and customers are looking for new and unique ways to communicate. Those that are already in the workplace, we're trying to figure out how to take these apps and these cell phones and these tablets and integrate them in our day-to-day. So we're going to talk about how we can leverage different technologies to make your business that much better in communicating.
Avaya has been a great partner over the years in providing solutions, business solutions to our customers. And what they've done is they've reinvented themselves.
Avaya has been an excellent partner. They have an excellent product line. So we are always fully engaged with them to make sure that we're bringing, that BTC brings the latest technology.
BTC Business is proud and excited to offer this new solution for its business customers. It's called My Office Solution, and call one of our experts today at 302-7700. I'm Corval Pyfrom, and we'll see you next BTC Connection.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day.
Joy has something new in store for you. For even longer lasting suds, a more powerful clean, and a delightful new scent, try Joy Orange. Try it now, and you could win a trip for 2 to Vegas, a trip for 2 to Orlando, or $1,000 cash. Just buy 2 30-ounce bottles of Joy Orange and take your receipt to purchase on Robinson Road. Try Joy Orange and enter to win today. Promotion ends June 22nd.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
There are stamps for mailing, even rubber and ink stamps, but there's only one stamp that saves you money, and you only get them at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs 15-ounce can, $1.09. Whole chicken wings, $1.59 per pound. Rainbow corned beef 12-ounce can, $1.89. Libby whole kernel corn or sliced beets 15-ounce size, 99 cents. Sweet peaches, $1.99 per pound. Carolina Pride hams 10-ounce size, $2.99. Quality stamps only at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scotterly. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, indicated in a statement that for the 2017 calendar year, real GDP growth in constant prices was up 1.4%. Last year's GDP growth represented a major recovery from the significant loss of minus 1.7% in 2016. He said this means that the Bahamas is on the economic rebound, and it proves that the prudent fiscal management by this administration has set the country on a path of sustainable economic growth, anchored in the economic empowerment of the Bahamian labor force and talent pool. The main industries contributing to this growth in GDP included construction, wholesale and retail trade, administrative business services, arts, and other services. In other business news, beginning June 21st, Alpitour World, based in Italy, will begin direct service into Grand Bahama on board a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. This announcement comes as the market for direct airlift from European countries has expanded throughout the country. As a result, Grand Bahama and its local stakeholders are well positioned to benefit from the summer charter service by catering to Italy's leisure market via flights to destinations across Africa, Asia, the Caribbean, China, and the Mediterranean. Alpitour has seen a significant growth in business on a monthly basis. Now, this direct service into Grand Bahama is expected to provide an increase in the number of stopover visitors, which will translate into a direct source of increased revenue injection into the local economy. And in international news, the luxury retailer sales and profits top forecasts, and Tiffany also boosted its outlook. Shares rode a shiny 19% Wednesday. Tiffany did well in every market. Overall sales were up 15%, buoyed by strong spending in China and Japan. European sales rose sharply too. Tiffany said U.S. sales benefited from more tourists shopping in America. The company said locals also spent more in the quarter, and profits got a big boost from U.S. tax reform. Overall earnings surged 53% from last year. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Gatterly.
One lucky resident from Ragged Island has gotten a head start in rebuilding his home thanks to the generosity of the women's arm of the Free National Movement. Althea Davis accepted on behalf of her brother Alvin Monroe, who received $3,000 worth of concrete blocks from the association on Wednesday at F&M headquarters. President Betty Benoit says the association is excited to give back to Ragged Island, which was devastated by last year's Hurricane Irma.
F&M Women's Association efforts continues. I will be negligent if I didn't also take this time to say how grateful our association is to our special donor, who has so graciously donated these blocks to the Women's Association Hurricane Relief effort. Immediately following the passage of Hurricane Irma, the women of the F&M began to mobilize and communicated with the relevant agencies to assist the islands of Ragged Island and Salina Point Acklands.
Now, the association's next mission is to assist the elderly. They're encouraging Bahamians to support their bingo night on Friday. Chairperson of the Restoration for Ragged Island Fundraising Committee, Melissa Maynard, says the island is now getting back to some sort of normalcy. She's encouraging Bahamians to give back to their brothers and sisters in the South.
This donation is just the beginning of many, I know, with the partnership with the Women's Association. Mr. Alvin Monroe is totally indebted to you as well as your committee for doing such generous donation on his behalf. And in 8 days, hurricane season is about to begin. We had 11 homes that was totally destroyed. And this will actually be the first home that will be rebuilt.
Family Guardian Insurance Company recently celebrated Founders Day, a day set aside to show the company's philanthropic side. This year, the Bahamas Down Syndrome Center was one of the recipients of the good deed here in the capital. This is more than 450 agents from the company carried out similar exercises across the country. Founder of Family Garden, Norbert Bossier, says he's happy with the work of this organization.
We are impressed with this organization and this school that we brought out a lot of the big guns. This program has been going on for 6 years. It was previously a program that was being used where we would take the whole staff of the company to a picnic, give them barbecues, give them beer, water. and when our president of 6 years ago, Mrs. Patricia Hermans, suggested that could we change and take the money that we were spending and the effort we were putting into a picnic, could we do what we are doing here, go to the people, the children.
Well, Cheryl Newell, who founded the Down Syndrome Center, thanked Family Guardian for thinking of the organization.
We would like to thank Family Guardian for coming and being a part of this Founders Day. We look forward to it every year, and we're just so happy that you've embraced our special needs kids and adults, and we're just looking forward to an awesome day.
Well, stay tuned. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, your news leader. We'll be back right after this.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward.
and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
You know that's probably a phishing email, right?
Well, I clicked the link to sign in and the website looks authentic.
Nope, it's not. Look closely at the URL. See? It's misspelled. There's an extra L in the domain name. That's what these kinds of emails often do. Link to a fake web page that mimics the URL and homepage of a legitimate website. Then they get you to enter personal information like a password or credit card number.
So I shouldn't have clicked on the link?
Nope. When going to any page where you have an account, the best thing to do is type the URL in manually, then create a bookmark to go there in the future. So you're never relying on someone else's link. Update account. Validate. Verify. Click here.
The performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
Yeah, child, I can ride this right on this rim. Y'all guess what? What? I ain't got no spare.
Let me just get a jump from the hacker. Nah, that's flat. Guess what, bruh? If you back around the corner of Wolf Road, there's a tire too.
I go in there right now.
No one looking nosy, Shirley.
You just shut up in my head in the back there. Stop making nerves. Hey, sweet boy, give me one of them tire. And while you at it, check this back.
Epic Wolf Road now has tires too. Why not replace your tires on the weekend? Wolf Road is open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit us today.
Well, it's time for your first check of weather. We check in now with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Basil, what's it looking like out there?
Well, Keisha, heavy clouds continue to cover the islands, and we'll tell you all about that later on in the newscast. But right now, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family of Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 81 degrees in Freeport, 81 in Greenville, Key Abaco, also Marsh Harbor in Abaco reporting 81 degrees. Here in the capital, 80 degrees. Harbor Island, 78. Roxanne, Eleuthera, 79. 80 degrees in Staniel Key, Kemps Bay, South Andrews, Fresh Creek, and Central Andrews, all at 80 degrees. San Salvador, Rump Key, Otterstown, Cat Island, 79. Georgetown, Exuma at 80 degrees. In Betsy Bay, Maguana, 80. Crooked Island, 81. Clarencetown, Long Island, also 81 degrees. 80 in Acklands, Ragged Island, 81 degrees. Matthewtown, Unago, 82. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 80 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Setter. In the northwest Bahamas, the winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights down 2 to 4 feet. Low tide, 9:16 tonight in the central and southeastern islands. The winds also southeast at 15 to 20 knots, so caution flags up. The seas are going to be around 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And then tomorrow in the northwestern islands, the winds remain southeast at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide, 9:46 in the morning. High tide at 4:02 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, caution flags continue with that southeasterly flow at 15 to 20 knots and those choppy seas at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And then we take you into Friday. The winds start to pick up again in the northwest Bahamas out of the southeast at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights building 3 to 6 feet. Low tide around 10:38 in the morning. The high tide at 4:56 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, caution flags once again. Southeasterly winds 15 to 20 knots and the wave heights 4 to 7 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast. And your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Did you see Uncle Lou when he fall in the well? I said he fell so deep that he went straight to hell. The devil and his angels stopped ringing the bell. My mama told me 3 years ago I mustn't marry no lazy gal. Said no lazy gal, no lazy gal, no lazy gal. I said no lazy gal, no lazy gal.
And that's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 15 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Colon cancer is cancer of the large intestine or colon, the lower part of your digestive system. Rectal cancer is the cancer of the last several inches of the colon. Together, they're often referred to as colorectal cancers. Most cases of colon cancer begin as small, non-cancerous, benign clumps of cells called adenomatous polyps. Over time, some of these polyps become colon cancers. Polyps may be small and produce few, if any, symptoms. For this reason, doctors recommend regular screening tests to help prevent colon cancer by identifying polyps before they become colon cancer. Symptoms of colon cancer include a change in your bowel habits, including diarrhea or constipation, or a change in the consistency of your stool, rectal bleeding or blood in your stool, persistent abdominal discomfort such as cramps, gas, or pain, a feeling that your bowel doesn't empty completely, weakness or fatigue, unexplained weight loss. Talk to your doctor about when you should begin screening for colon cancer. Guidelines generally recommend colon cancer screenings begin at age 50. Your doctor may recommend more frequent or earlier screening if you have other risk factors, such as a family history of the disease. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Food. It is as essential as air is to breathe and water is to drink. Food is life. But where does our food come from? The Bahamas has more than 2,000 farmers, but it's hardly enough to keep up with our growing population. Or is it? We traveled the nation to find out the answers to the questions everyone is asking. Can we feed ourselves?
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Life happens. And when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Battery and tire specialists want to improve your ride with their new wheel alignment services. Rough roads can make the steering wheel shimmy, your car drift sideways, and even make you skid in wet weather. Professional wheel alignment extends the life of your tires, prevents expensive repairs, and saves you money on gas. Battery and Tire, 7 Terrace, Centerville, 325-0547. Battery and Tire Specialist. We keep you moving.
Buy Pampers and you can pin it to win it. Guess how many diaper pins are on display at Pritchard's? You could win up to $2,000 for the closest guess. Buy Pampers and pin it to win it today.
Introducing the Subway Simple 6 menu. 6 of our best 6-inch subs, now and made just for you meals for just $7.50 every day. Take your pick from our best subs, like the Italian BMT, tender turkey breast, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, and more. Pile them high with all of your favorite veggies, made just the way you say, with a 21-ounce drink and a bag of chips. The new Simple 6 menu is value made simple every day. Yeah, you so got it made. Subway, eat fresh.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Welcome to Sports Wednesday. It's time for the country's young and upcoming track and field athletes to shine. Our Charles Fisher tells us in this report they'll do just that in the annual Frank Pancho-Ramming Track and Field Championship.
The 3-day meet. Eva Hilton's David Cox was the showstopper as part of the opening ceremony. Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marching Band also there bringing the sweet sound. Welcoming the athletes was Director of Sports, Tim Munnings.
And we're looking forward to excellent competition, friendly rivalries, and a lot of fun. So we welcome you. We want you to have lots of fun. Meet some persons from the different islands. I welcome all of you from all of the family islands, from Inagua in the south to Bimini in the north. For the family island athletes alone, you represent over 800 of the very best athletes that this beautiful country has to offer. So give yourselves a hand as representing the best athletes in the Bahamas, hey?
Now officially opening the meet was Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Michael Pintard.
Children have a wonderful competition, form lasting friendships, exercise good sportsmanship. Remember, winning is important, but how you win is as important as winning. So compete in fair play and camaraderie. With those few words, it is my pleasure and honor to declare these championships open.
For ZNS Total Sports, looking forward to a great nationals, I'm Charles Fisher.
Thank you so much, Fisher. National record holder in the women's triple jump, Tamaya Myers, reflected on her performance at the Commonwealth Games held in Australia in March.
I was really prepared, had good training sessions and everything, and we went to Australia maybe a few days, a week before, and I really thought that put me at an advantage compared to the other jumpers that were there maybe 2-3 weeks, especially Jamaican jumpers that were there at least 3 weeks in advance. I tried my best during the preliminary rounds to advance, but unfortunately I placed 9th. First attempt I fouled, tried to adjust too much, didn't run the same way as my first attempt, was behind the board, and then the last was about 13.1. It's like really low, below my personal best, so it was disappointing, but I'm glad I got to experience the competitive atmosphere, being among the best, I guess, in the Commonwealth.
Experience versus youth. That was the matchup in the New Providence Softball Association on Tuesday evening in the women's division. Amajal Knowles was behind the plate. Here's the call.
In action from the New Providence Softball Association last evening, we had a tale of two very different teams. On the women's side, through the defending champion Sunshine Auto Lady Wildcats, who took on the upstart Alive Strikers. And this one got ugly very early, the Jumps getting up as much as 15 runs in the first inning, ultimately cruising on to a 25-5 win. Winning catcher Darnett Wright.
Everyone was just on their toes. The two pitchers, they were really good. They came out, performed their best. We got ahead very early in the game. We didn't slump this time, so we jumped out the gate very aggressively this time.
Now, despite the lopsided score, Alive did manage to score 5 runs in the second, showing some improvement, much to the delight of the crowd, right on what happened in that inning.
With the 5 runs, our new pitcher, well, she's not new, she's a work pitcher in progress, and she just had a little bit difficulties, but she got a little 1-2 outs, but kind of got a little walks as well. That's the only little error.
Wright also explaining how the team stays focused in games in which they are easily in control.
The team, we have fun, so to keep us together, that's what Mr. Moss is for. He keeps us in check. He's pushing us, make us say, going forward, but behind us, stay aggressive. The coach and keep us in it. So we have to, the coach and keep us in it. The coaches
Play continues on Thursday at the Bankers League Field. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Thank you so much, Amajal. Swimmers in the Mako Swim Club surely made their mark this swim year. Head coach Ravano McPhee bragged about having more than 10 swimmers qualify for the winning Bahamas team at the Griffith Games and is looking forward to have a good number selected for the other upcoming regional meets.
We are a new club, but we have a high number of swimmers. Very pleased with the 16 qualifiers for Griffith that we got. And yeah, the club is growing very fast. Very pleased with the support by the parents. The Mako parents did a very good job with volunteering. Timers were on time. And yeah, just having a good time here.
Despite the inclement weather on the weekend in Exumer, sailors competing in the annual Baritari Regatta navigated the high seas, giving Regatta fans something to watch from the shoreline. Here's Charles Fisher again with the wrap-up.
Rough seas and high winds on Saturday, resulting in all 3 series races having to be sailed on Monday, which was the final day. And Buzzy Roll aboard Bull Reg, taking all 3 in grand fashion and carrying off the overall title, much to the delight of his sponsor, Jay.
We did pretty good, Charles, and I got to tip my hats off to LJ, who really come out and support us. He's my son, and I really disappointed in the rest of my crew who didn't even show, And I also got to tip my hats off to the Rosewood guys who come out and helped me at the last minute, That's what makes it all successful here.
I've been behind Buzzy for the past 10 years, right? And 2 years ago, I dropped him, right? I told my wife that, look, I'm sick and tired of Buzzy. Every day he's losing. But finally, my wife said to me, she called me Daddy. She said, Daddy, we got to go back with Buzzy. So Jay and Jalen's Marine decided to go back with Buzzy, and I'm so happy that we went back with Buzzy, and now I'm victorious.
Coming in second was the Young Boys, Termites, skippered by Dallas Knowles.
We really wanted to get Buzzy this time. We got him in Farmers, we got him in Georgetown, but he got away from us this time. Difficult conditions, a lot of wind, a lot of chop. The kids responded very well. They work hard as usual. And, they just do what they do, and we let the chips fall where they may, and second place, we're pretty happy with that.
And after winning the ocean race, Fugitive had a few bad tacks and finished third.
In this first 2 series race, we had 2 mishaps in the first race and the second race. In the last race, we did pretty well, but just that Buzzy, the experience he used on the guys, he was able to overtake them with on the last 50 or so yards.
The biggest award handed out at the closing was a $25,000 donation from the Homecoming Committee to assist with community efforts on the island, especially in Baritari. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
Thank you so much, Fisher. That's all the time we have for sports. I'm Kelsey Johnson.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
It's the month of May Mother's Day Prize Palooza. Just buy these products and enter to win great gift cards or cash for your mom. There'll be 2 winners every week in the month of May Mother's Day Prize Palooza.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day, the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day, your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why, every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock, and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the satellite picture showing pockets of showers and thunderstorms just to the east of the Yucatan Peninsula, and that is in response to a broad area of low pressure system, which at the moment has a very low chance of development, and that's because of the strong upper level sharing that is taking place in the upper atmosphere. However, computer models are all suggesting that this broad area will move towards the north, and once it emerges in the Gulf of Mexico, conditions are expected to become more favorable for development. But whether it develops or not before it makes landfall, what is noted is that broad-scale showers and isolated thunderstorms are expected as this whole area pushes towards the north. So rainfall will certainly be a major factor, particularly for the western portion of the Bahamas and, of course, the Florida Peninsula as we head into the weekend. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a stray shower or two, very possible. Low temperature getting down to 77 degrees. Tomorrow, another cloudy day with isolated showers, particularly in the afternoon hours. High temperature around 84 degrees. The extended weather forecast, mid-80s right through the 7-day cycle, and we have some mid-70s to upper 70s during the nighttime. And so those showers will return over the weekend starting on Friday, taking us right into the early part of next week. So the sun will not be back out until sometime the middle part of next week. So the rains are back again. So you must keep those umbrellas and what have you handy over the weekend to keep yourself dry.
I'm just envisioning myself in bed looking at those 4 days of clouds and rain.
Especially on off days.
Yes. We want to say a final hello to our Facebook viewers, Claude Young, Sally Patterson, who said she left her 50-inch television alone to watch us on Facebook. Desiree Williams, Riley, Veronique Dean, Arlene Brown, Brenda Patton Bow, and Harry Johnson, all watching on Facebook. We want you to drop us a line. Let us know you're watching, how you're enjoying the Bahamas tonight. That does it for us in the Bahamas Tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in. Have a good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.